Today, we're going to clean up some podcast noise.
The School of Podcasting with Dave Jackson.
Hey, I'm Dave Jackson from the School of Podcasting.com, where I help you plan, launch, and grow your podcast. And there are a couple things that I hear a lot in the podcasting space, and I want to clear them up. And that is real, and then kind of fishing. We'll call it fishing, stories, conversations, and consistency. Those are things that are screwing things up. We're going to go over those. And the first one is real. I want to keep it real. And what this typically means is I don't want to edit my show. It means you're real lazy is what it means, because there are book editors, there are magazine editors, there are newspaper editors, and there are movie editors, probably TV editors as well. And like it or not, podcasting is kind of in the entertainment realm, and you've decided that everything out of your mouth is fine. I have a friend of mine that explained on Facebook that he had somebody who took 26 minutes to answer one question that was edited down to 4. But in your world, nope, we're going to keep all 26. So no, keeping it real is, I want you to talk from your heart. I want you to talk from your passion, but you need to edit that stuff down. And then the second one, I'm going to call this fishing for stories. We're going to talk about stories a lot here. I hate to hear somebody go, so tell me a little bit about yourself, because most of the time that means, hey, I didn't do any homework. And the other thing is, do I really need somebody's backstory? Do I need to know where their parents were and their dog's name was Sparky and things of that nature? No. And it's fine to record that if you want, but start at the point where it makes sense for me, the listener, to hear, because 9 times out of 10, we don't need the backstory. Or, and this sounds kind of mean, I don't care about your guest until they give me something of value. And then, and only then, will I go, I wonder where this person came from. Then you might put their backstory later. But when you first start out, you got to grab people by the throat and bring them in, which brings them to stories. And a lot of times what people are doing when they say, tell me a little bit about yourself, is you're looking for a story. And I get that. And that's good. It'd be better if you did your homework and knew the story before. But nonetheless, stories, some people say, oh, you just need to tell stories. I don't know about that. I mean, I could tell you a story right now. It'd be really, really boring. And it would be real. It'd be true. And it's a story. But in the end, you'd be like, yeah, that's 3 minutes of my life I can't get back. So stories that are relevant to the subject. And also, sometimes people have great stories, they just don't know how to tell them. And that's where we go back to, again, editing. So just having a story for the sake of a story, again, is that whole, oh, tell me a little bit about yourself. Oh, I'm getting your backstory. I don't care about your backstory. I want you to tell me something that's going to make me laugh, cry, think, groan, educate, or entertain. If you're not doing one of those 6 things, you're boring. So just having stories for the sake of stories isn't going to work. The best thing you can do is share a story to make a point about your subject. Win, win, win for everybody. The other one is conversations. This is kind of the distant cousin of keeping it real. Oh, it's a conversational podcast. Just because it's a conversation doesn't mean it's good. I could call up my best friend. He's been my best friend for over 40 years, and we could talk, and we'd have all sorts of fun inside jokes and things like that, and we'd be having a great time, and you'd be going, what are they talking about? I don't get it. So a conversation does not mean it's good. It's real, yep, and it's probably stories, but it may also be very boring because it doesn't pertain to what the audience, wants to hear, and that's really what it boils down to. What does your audience want? Then give that to them. And the last thing is consistency. I hear this a lot. You just need to be consistent. And that is true, but people are tweaking this a little bit. You need to be consistent because it's great when you can publish on whatever your schedule is, because then people put you as part of their routine. Every Tuesday, you're listening to Dave. Every Thursday, you're listening to Susie. Whatever it is, they're part of your routine. So yes, consistency can be very, very powerful. However, the true consistency that you have to shoot for is consistency in value. It doesn't make any sense to struggle and throw something together. So, hey, it's Wednesday, here's the show, if there's no value in it. I would much rather get an episode a day late on Thursday instead of Wednesday that was really good than to get an episode on time on Wednesday that was meh. So keeping it real, Okay, yeah, talk from your heart, talk from your passion, but don't make me listen to you fish for stories. Just bring me the story. I don't need to hear how the sausage was made. Stories are great when they make you laugh, cry, think, groan, educate, or entertain, and they pertain to the subject. But if the show is not about French toast recipes, I don't want to hear about French toast recipes. Then conversations are great. You don't want it to be an interrogation when you're talking to a guest if you're doing an interview show, but just because it's a conversation doesn't mean it's good. And then when it comes to consistency, yes, you want to have a consistent schedule, but it's more important to have a consistent value. If you're starting to launch a podcast right now, I would love to help you make a podcast that is going to impact your audience. Go over to schoolofpodcasting.com/start and use the coupon code YouTube. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.